Hi everyone, another Killers here, and today we're gonna review some 2004 Titan set, of course some Bionicle, and this time we're gonna review Turaga Dume Nivawk, but I do not own the box because I bought the Ultimate Dume pack, so I can just show you the manual, the instruction booklet instead, but of course this image right here was the same as the one on the box of Turaga Dume, so you can see clearly the background of Metruni with the Colosseum and some area of light from it, and of course Turaga Dume and Nivawk crushing some works, crushing some roof and some walls. So of course we got the same dark atmosphere on the Street Titan from 2004, so the dark clouds and the night and stuff like that. So it's maybe the time when Makuta just decide to get all the Titans together in his body. I don't remember, but still. Here's the front of the picture, and then it shows you inside the gimmick, which we are shown, of course, at the back of the box. So we're gonna talk about this later. Of course, in this instruction booklet, you also got instruction or some part of the instruction for the Ultimate Dume set, the big combiner of this year's, with of course the 3 Titans released this year's, and not the Likan and Kano set because there were some special edition at this time. Then you got some nice some pictures of two other Titans, so you can clearly see that they all got the same dark background right here, so excuse me for the artificial light. And then we got some pic, I'm gonna put this like that, some pics with the Vaki right there, the Turaga Dume mask, and then some, as you can maybe see right there, the little shape, it's Turaga Vakaman, which is in the same pose as this canister pose. I think Lego just reused the same pose over and over again on all different pictures. Maybe it costs too much money to have a different pose. Don't know. And okay, some ads for Legoland and stuff like that. And then some ads for the second movie, which will be released later in 2004, of course. And some pictures of the villains of the movie, so the Vaki, which are useless, and the two Dark Hunter, which are also really useless. Of course, because they doesn't really are strong or things like that, but that's a movie for children, so I think it's okay. And then we're gonna talk about the set itself. So here's, excuse me, Turaga Dume. So in fact, as you can see, clearly it's not a Turaga shape like the 2001 like the 2001 Turaga. It's more like some Mechuan, so the material released in 2004, and then some Baroque parts. So of course, for those who doesn't know, for those who don't know, excuse me, you have your Mechu body frame right there, which is just one big part in some V shape, some one armored part, and tons of pinhole right there to put all the parts. So the arms, of course, which are made with, on this time on a Baroque arm. Of course, on the Mechuan, they are made with some Mechuan arm, which were some new mold of some new arm mold. The same for this arm right there. So you're supposed to put this in this pinhole, so really quick. And then you have the legs, which are the same but with some Baroque feet this time, and linked with a little axle. And of course, add this there. And that's quite all. And then you have the head. The head is an older head, but this time it's in black with some dark orange eyes, so which is new because it was released before in black and some eyes with Turaga Wenua, but it was with some green eye colored piece. And then I think that's quite all. Yeah, excuse me, just gonna do something. Just in some ugly insect with tons of legs walking on one of my walls, so just kill him anyway. Excuse me for that. And so yeah, we're gonna talk about the mask right now. So this is the Dume mask. This is a new model. As you can see, it's really nice. Kind of look like a gas mask, so it kind of look like the Vakama's one, but I think this one is a better shaped and really a good looking mask. And as you can see, it's mainly red and with some black fade right here, or maybe it's mainly black with some white fade. It's due to shoes. So it's nice, and it will be we used 2 times in 2 other sets in the Ewing set 2005, and then in some Matterhorn set in 2007. And there you go. So your little Turaga red and black, kind of nice, but it doesn't really look like a Turaga from the first years. And in the movie form, it really looks like an old school Turaga, so it's kind of hard. So here it just looks like a crossover between some Mechuan and also some Bionicle. And I think that's quite all. We're going to talk about the big part of the set right now, the Wild Nivawk, so some of kind of an bird like, yeah. So here it is, you can see for the legs, we're going to add some pelvis, through pelvis part. Then we're going to add, of course, some technique beam which will also be useful to link the wings, which are also made with some technique beams, long one this time. And then the wings itself are made with some vacuum tools, the ice one, right there. And as you can see, it's made, it's linked with this little parts and other little parts. So it's linked to these 2 technique beam really nicely, in fact. And then the main part of the body is this kind of a quaddle, if I can say so, because it's made with a technique beam, and this is where we're gonna put Turaga Dume. And you can see it's made with some old school slicer or robot feet right there, and of course some axle, flexible axle, which were really popular in 2004 because it was also put in Nidiki. And so it's nice to, these parts are nice to put this in some, to make the parts go back in its initial position, like that, for example. And the same goes for the wing, but we're going to talk about the gimmick later. And also, just notice that this A-shaped part right there are useful to put the wings here, to make the gimmicks works. And here, this part also is linked to the body with this L-shaped part. And I think that's quite all for this part of the body. Then we're going to talk about the head. The head is made with a connector, and the neck then is made with some metal arms. And there, here's the head. It's kind of well designed, as you can see. It's made with, yeah, it's kind of made with some, I can't really destroy it, but anyway, it's made with this technique parts. Do not know where we've seen it before anyway. And then some robot feet, as you can see, and then some Borg eyes. I think this one are made to, this one are the eyes, and this are just some shape details right here with the black one, and then some Onua claws in silver, and then some Poitou claws again. So it looks nice, quite simple, but still nice and effective in my opinion. Quite look a bird, so it's okay. And then we're gonna link this thanks to this part right there. And of course, we're going to talk about the articulation later. And then we have the legs. Here we go. So you can see legs, Queka, they used some, excuse me. Yes, they use some Titan connector right here. And as you can see also, it's the first time we're going to see the technique of doing longer legs with these 2 types of connectors. So it means using the 2 connectors, but between them putting a long axle and then fill the hole with some parts. So this is the first time we see it, and it will be used tons of time in the future Titan. So just use 2 connectors like that, and then fill the hole with, then put a big axle, a tall axle, and then fill the hole with some decoration and stuff like that. So this time we're gonna put, I think these are this part right there, which are some parts already seen in the Exotoa. So we're gonna put this in this pinhole right there. And as you can see also, we have a link these 2 parts with this. No, we have put this part on the axle and then put this Takanuva spear parts, which will be very useful and were used tons of time in the later years. And I think that's quite all for the upper part of the legs. The lower part is really simple because it's just a waxy legs in black. And then you have the claws, if I can say so. which are made with some galleys hook in silver colors. And as you can see, it's put like that, so it's not symmetrical. It's not all blocky, because this part just go like that. And I think that I'm just gonna check on. Okay, this is the left leg. So that's quite all in it. As you can see, it's all this part is made with a Titan connectors part, which is linked to the leg. And I think that's quite all, so we're gonna just add this on the ball joint part. And then we will have a finish with that anyway, because there are not really much to talk about on this Titan set right here. So I don't know if I can show you. Oh yeah, okay. I think I'm gonna have to add some book. I'll just move my cam like that. So you can see it's really tall anyway. In comparison, for example, Turaga Dume, which is kind of like the same size as a natural. Like that. So yeah, for the gimmick and application part, of course, you've got, okay, yeah, maybe gonna add some more books just to show you a better way to show you. Okay, here we go. So yeah, of course, the first gimmick is this one, to put Turaga Dume in it, so I'm gonna show you this later. Then you have the wings, which are made with some flexible axle again, so in fact you just have to press this button to this lever or this piece to unleashed, if I can so, or released to release, yeah, the wings. And the two wings are independent, so you have to do this for the two one. Of course, there are just two positions, the open one and the closed one, like this. So it works perfectly. Yeah, of course, you have maybe to press a little harder on this part. So here it is with his two wings open, or excuse me for that. Then you have the head with two ball joints on it. Okay. Excuse me if I have to turn my webcam every time, so I may just make him bend. So yeah, you have the two ball joints on the head, so you can make it turn in every direction possible. So back, front, on the side. There was really no problem at all with this one, in my opinion. So it's really cool. And then you have and then you have the legs, which are really pretty articulated also, because you can turn this all the way you want. So on the front, on the back, on the side or so. And then for the lower part, you can turn this all the way up like that, so it's not blocked at 90 degrees, so it's really well articulated. And also for the clothes, it's kind of nice articulated. You can see you can do a kind of strange stuff. But yeah, for example, you can do stuff like that with this way. And you can see it stands perfectly. And there we go. We're gonna add then some, and we're gonna add the Turaga Dume in it. So of course, there's really nothing to hold him inside apart from these two parts, which will be useful to put the neck in it. I can say so. Okay, maybe. So as you can see, we have put this on this side, so the neck part just fit in perfectly. And as you can see, it doesn't fall or anything like that. So it can like it will look like a baby carried by a bird, in my opinion, but yeah. So I may have like better to have him stand on the back of the way, like for example Jera and Guko, but no, they decided to make him stand on the front of the way, so that's kind of strange. And here we go with so excuse me if it's kind of yeah, that's perfect like that. So yeah, I think that's quite all on these two. So what to like, not to like. On Turaga Dume, you may not like the fact that it's just some matte one from 2004 with some baroque legs. And then you may also like the color scheme with the new mask, which is very nice. So, in fact, this is a typical set which is not really original but has some interesting parts. But apart from that, yeah, so it's not really like a Turaga or stuff like that. And then you got the Nivawk. So I think this is first for those who like the YE, because I'm not really fond of this one YE. Apart from that, of course, the drawback are maybe the wings, which are not articulated, but apart from that, it's still a nice gimmick. And also, the legs are very well articulated, and also the head is well articulated, so that's really a good point in comparison to the older YE, so that's quite nice. Maybe also, is not really that, the design itself is not really that interesting, because apart from the legs, it's kind of blocky from the wings. You can see it's just some nude, if I can say so, not on the literal sense, of course. There are just some kind of just technique beam right there, so it's kind of straight. It's not really that interesting design, apart from the head and the legs part, of course, and maybe the body part for those who like to for the way it's Turaga Dume it's put on it. So yeah, personally, I'm not really fond of this set, but I don't see any drawback, in fact, apart from maybe the lack of charisma and the lack of originality in the Turaga. And apart from that, it's still a nice way with very well articulated legs. I think this is a more articulated set of all the Titan sets from 2004, because apart from the wings, the legs are very well articulated, and also for the heads. So yeah, it may be a nice set, but it really depends on what you're looking for. If you like YE, then I think you can find this one appealing. If you like Turaga, maybe I don't think we will find Turaga Dume appealing, because it's just some matte one with baroque legs and arms. So nothing really interesting at all. Also the part packs, it's quite nice for the mask, but apart from that and the also the silver parts, it's not really interesting. So again, it depends on what you're looking for. So yeah, I'm not really interested in this set personally, but I think the mask can be one because the mask is really nice. It can make you decide to buy this one. But I do not know many people that would just buy a set just for the mask itself. So anyway, it's really up to you this time, because I can't really advise you to buy this one. It's again really a special set, because there is no other YE like in 2004, apart Canalo of course, but it's a different kind of YE. So yeah, again, I really hope this review have let you decide whether or not you like this set or not. But personally, I don't see any drawback, but also I don't see any really good pro. So that's why it's really a 50-50 set, so just an average set, kind of forgettable set. So that's all I think. I hope you enjoyed this review, and see you later for another Bionicle video review. Bye bye!